they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
If you ever feel like that guy in the first clip, you made it to the right place. We are going to figure out how to deal with the corner once and for all, and I know we're going to figure it out because I spent many hours looking at 231 unique corner plays to figure out what was going on in the lower ranks and why the higher ranks were doing a better job at the corner. And after all of that, I am super confident in what I found out. So hopefully you don't ever have to feel like this guy ever again. Let's get right into it. So within this research, I looked at 5 different games in Platinum, Diamond, and Grand Champion. Starting with Platinum, the 5 games I looked at had 71 total corner plays with 44 mistakes made and 27 good plays. The mistakes I noticed fell into 5 categories: staying under the ball too long, double committing, passing to the other team, whiffing, and spacing. A very important number that I found is 27% of the mistakes in Platinum resulted directly in a goal. Remember this percentage for later. Of those mistakes, passing to the other team and whiffing were responsible for 55% of them. Don't worry though, these mistakes can be fixed without even needing to improve your mechanics. But improving wouldn't hurt either. But it's not all bad. There were some good plays too. Those good plays were recorded into 4 categories: 50-50s, positioning, patience, and ball control. A special note I found was that all of the plays that were done with patience resulted in a full clear. Second, we had Diamond. There were 94 total corner plays, 61 of those being mistakes, while only 33 were good plays. Not very strong. Although the 5 mistakes that I mentioned in Platinum were all shown by Diamonds, spacing was the highest with 21 out of the 61 plays, or 34%. I believe this issue is caused from probably an overconfidence in your own gameplay and low confidence in your teammates. Hence where we see the Grand Champion stuck in Diamond. And finally, we have Grand Champion. I looked at 66 corner plays across those games, and there were only 25 mistakes versus 41 that were good plays. Remember that Platinum had 12 goals that were scored on them because of the corners? Diamond and Grand Champion had 3 and 2 respectively. A final note was that double committing into the corner disappeared completely in Grand Champion. And the conclusion is that Platinums and Diamonds are not as good as Grand Champions. Duh! But what can we do to start playing like a Grand Champion in these scenarios? Well, I'm glad you asked. Since that was a pretty long intro, I just want to get right into it here. For better understanding, we are going to be breaking up this side of the field into 2 zones, Zone 1 and Zone 2. Both zones have different jobs and will have to work together sometimes to take care of that stubborn corner. First, let's talk about Zone number 1. This zone is the riskier of the 2 by far. If you find yourself in this zone and you are uncomfortable, try to get to Zone 2. When this is not possible, or you need to make a quick play in order to prevent a potential center and score from the other team, hitting the ball prematurely here will often result in a pass to the other team, and that is bad. Even if it doesn't result in a goal, your team now has to react to your mistake and spend boost. Do this enough times and your team will be out of boost, and we all know what happens when you run out of boost. So if you do find yourself in this zone, I made a training pack with a couple of the different scenarios and shots you might be faced with. Link will also be in the description. Make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to go over a couple of tips in this training pack as well. Now let's talk about Zone 2. This is the zone where the magic happens. In normal circumstances, there should only be 1 player per zone. This is why we didn't see any double commits in Grand Champion, but looking at this clip, we see an infraction where there is a guy just kind of staying under the ball too long. If he had rotated around and got to the back end of Zone 2, this would have been a save and the other team would not have scored. But now you might be asking, Seabell, there are 3 cars in Standard, so where is the 3rd zone? Well fine, here's the 3rd zone, the O zone. It's the rest of the field, because your job is to float, you get it, and wait until you are needed in either Zone 1 or 2, or wait for a clear and get ready to push forward. I'd say 80% of the time, going to Zone 2 in Platinum and Diamond resulted in a good play. The fact is, in these ranks, players rarely make a remarkable play in the corner, and you can trust that by being in zone 2, you're most likely making a clear or a save. Jumping to the training pack, you'll find 3 shots where you're in zone 1 and 3 shots while in zone 2. Going over zone 1 first, this shot requires you to collect the ball and to move it out of your corner. Bonus points if you can get it over the half line before the timer noise kicks in at 3 seconds. This is important. To make this practice as efficient as possible, make sure that you are keeping your car very close to the ball. I have a secret to share at the end of this video to explain why this is so important, so hang around another minute or so for that. This shot requires you to get on the wall and jump out and clear it. The tip here is to only jump once off the wall, air roll the car, and hit it in the corner of your car. This shot requires you to hit it back into the corner at all costs. You don't have to control it as much, but the other team will have a really hard time scoring if the ball is touching the corner wall. So you did a good job if it's rolling against the wall. Now the zone 2 shots. The main reason why you're having trouble hitting balls in the corner is you're probably hovering in zone 1. So get yourself to zone 2 like in this clip and then hit the ball out towards the center. To make this more difficult, make sure to move at the highest speed you can and clear the ball over the half line. The second shot in zone 2 is a lot tougher. You have 2 plays here. Number 1 is to swing it wide into zone 2 and clear the ball out towards the right wall or towards center. The second option is to go into zone 1 and to clear it off the bounce. Remember though, going into zone 1 is always riskier, so play around with this and find which one you're comfortable with. But in either scenario, make sure to go to zone 2 first before making your decision. On this shot, you're going to want to go to zone 2 and you're going to try to hit it towards the other side. Bonus points if you can score it, and bonus points if you can score it without the ball touching the ground. And if there's any platinums out there, guys, if you can consistently hit this shot with power, you will not be platinum for very long, so practice this one a lot. And guys, here's the secret tip I was talking about. Through my research, I found that 50-50s were the best way to clear the ball into the corner every time. Here's how it works. When you 50-50 in the corner, which is generally really safe, the other team has lost a player to your side, meaning you have 3 back and they have 2. If your teammates make the next move quickly, you will have an advantage every time. This was true in Grand Champ too. So keep the ball close to you in the corner and when in doubt, make a 50-50. Also, all of the details of the research that I did is down in the description. It will be in an Excel sheet. I basically took down everything. You guys can interpret it however you want to. I took down a couple notes, but feel free to look at that and kind of do your own analysis as well. If you really like the video and you really like me and you really want to help and make me feel great, leave a like and a comment. But if not, don't worry, I'm still gonna make videos.